overstock, patience, wait on the outside, wait until we get 4 sigmas, then we get back in, then we get a buy signal. I use this all the time. We use this for buys. We use this for sells. Why do we use this? Here's the exact process we use to find trades. Using the Wall Street Wiretapper, we want to look 30 days, 20 days in different time frames. We want to look for what names are the most active, the names that are coming up on the Wall Street Wiretapper. It's our belief that these names are going to outperform their volatility. But that doesn't mean we just jump in and do a trade in every single one. Now, we want to find the names that keep coming up in the Wall Street Wiretapper and then go to the high value target tool to see which ones are in play. What's a good buy? What's a good sell? Which ones are in no man's land? Back to overstock. Great example. Don't sell overstock. We're only buying overstock. Ride. Ride is on the Wiretapper. Ride right here. Now we're seeing a buy signal. Good patience. We saw one here. Okay, market cap down. We're seeing them again. But use this for discipline. Use this to know, is it a good entry point? If it's in no man's land, there's nothing to do. HYLN, another name that's coming up on the Wiretapper. Sells, buys, sells, buys. Really nothing to do here. This is no man's land. I would take a pass. Cliff, great buy. Do we sell right now? Not yet. Patience. Wait. Wait until we get some signals. If you were long, great place to cover. So this high value target tool, we are using all the time. I love using this on longer term time frames as well. 10 years, weekly, S&P, just get a good feel for what's really going on. Get in the rhythm of the market. Here's another good example of a name we were able to take advantage of with buys right here. CSTM, another name that we were seeing on the Wiretapper, and then coming to the HVT tool to see, is it actionable? Are we getting a buy signal? Is it close to the outer boundaries? You don't want to mess around in this no man's land. This makes me think of an important component of gambling of Las Vegas. Why is Las Vegas so beautiful? Why is there so much money in there? Probabilistic thinking. Las Vegas knows that the longer they keep a blackjack table open, the longer they keep a craps table open, over time, they're going to make money because the odds are in their favor. That's probabilistic thinking. If Las Vegas loses money over a 1 hour time period in a blackjack table, they're certainly not going to close that blackjack table down. They're going to encourage people to play for longer and longer times. So how that relates to trading, we want the odds in our favor. So step 1, go to the Wall Street Wiretapper, look for different trades, look in different time frames, experiment, 30 days, 20 days, 10 days, play around. That's step 1. Step 2 is once we find one of these names, we'll look at NEO and PSTH. Let's then go to the high value target tool. We know from the Wiretapper that these names have a high probability of taking out their implied volatility, the volatility priced in the market. We want to use the HVT, the high value target tool, to see, is it a good buy? Is it a good sell? Let's look at NEO and then PSTH. NEO looks nice. So NEO, great example, right? We're seeing it on the Wall Street Wiretapper, and then we're also seeing it on the high value target tool. That's exactly what we're looking for. We go back, there's great volatility. We see the buys and sells have worked effectively in the past. Now, does that mean you blindly just go and buy NEO? No, absolutely not. You're smarter than that. You need to see NEO comes up on the Wall Street Wiretapper. NEO is showing us a buy signal, but does that trade fit into your portfolio? If you're long 3 names, you probably don't need another long. Perhaps you need a short. If you're looking for a short, I definitely wouldn't buy puts in NEO. NEO, we're looking to buy calls. PSTH, another name on the Wiretapper. Again, we're looking at a daily. Great buy signal there. Nice sell signals here. But now, let's call this no man's land. It's right by its historical moving average. It's not close to 3 sigma or 4 sigma. So PSTH, it's coming up on the Wiretapper, which suggests that it outperforms its volatility. But for me, going back to that probabilistic thinking, I'm going to take a pass. Down here, good buy. Up here, good sell. Right here, could you buy a straddle and play for both sides? Sure, but I think we could do better. Let's look under 30 days. Let's look at two other names. Let's look at Palantir and Trip. Palantir. Love it. Palantir coming up on the Wiretapper. Also, ARK Invest just invested a ton of money in Palantir down here as well. Probably a good place to get long. Again, we're seeing it on the Wiretapper. It's kind of in the middle. Maybe you wait for a little bit of pullback, but I still think this is going to be okay on the long side. I would not sell though. Use the high value target tool to help with those entry points. Moss, Trip. Moss right here, Mosaic. For me, I don't know, I'd lay off this. Trending higher, we're getting these sells, but it's not really working. It just keeps going higher. For me, I'd rather stay away. I'd rather go to names that are gyrating more, like an Overstock. Overstock to me, like, whoa, that looks like a really good buy. Moss to me looks like, not so much fun. I'm going to take a pass. Trip, another one, guys, I'm going to take a pass. we don't need to mess around with this. Selling just a strong stock coming out of COVID, everyone getting vaccinated. TripAdvisor is certainly moving, but HVT tool, really not giving it much feedback. Again, we want to go back to names that are gyrating, that are showing back and forth opportunity, that are not just that one-way trade. That, my friends, is probabilistic thinking. We use the Wiretapper to find names that we believe have a high probability of taking out their implied volatility, and then we use the HVT tool to help give us strong entry points. Here's the HVT tool on the VIX. Really nice on the VIX as well. You can see, because it's got discipline, right? It stays on the edges. It's super disciplined, stays on the edges, and then once in a while, you'll get those really strong signals that have a high probability of success.